Slade in Valrico, Florida. See more better with freeprescriptionlenses.com. And I'm going to cut Transitions XTRAactive brown lenses with the red flash mirror for your Oakley 8121, the Airdrop NP. Size 55 in the polished black. Let me begin. I'm going to take everything out. Of course, let me preface every video with an Oakley that I am an authorized Oakley dealer. I am too small time, I've been told, to post the individual frames with lens prices on my website. So if there's an Oakley frame you want, just like Slade did, he emailed me, told me the frame, the model, the size, the color, and I got him a price, and I sent him a PayPal invoice, and we made it happen. But this is the frame. It comes with a little Oakley cleaning cloth / bag / carrying case. And of course, the star of the show, the main attraction, the MNP. It comes with little plastic sleeves on the temples to protect the temples from rubbing together during shipping. But this is the OX8121. It is the color 02 polished black in the 55 eye size. It is the great frame. It has the red logo on there for now because, let me move these out of the way and show you a little something. This is a very versatile, practical frame. It comes with different nose pads so it can fit everybody. It also comes with different color Oakley logos on the side. You can change them out. It comes with the polished black, a blue, a yellowish green, of course the red. And what you would do to change them out is there's that little tab that you see. Use something small. I'm using my Phillips head screwdriver. It has a peg on this side. Come on you. And it has a little tab on the bottom side. You can change out the colors. You would stick that tab into the side closest to the front of the frame towards the lens, and then push that into the slot, and there you go. But you can change out the logos on the side of the frame. But for today's purposes, I'm going to change out the original demo lenses and put your invisible bifocal with Transitions XTRAactive brown and the red flash mirror in here. That's going to look really cool with that red logo on the side. But let me pop out your demo lenses, one of which says Oakley. I'm going to put your frame into the tracing element of my blocker. I'm going to program this shape into the computer so years from now, should you ever need new lenses for this frame, I can mail them to you without you mailing the frame back to me, so you can wear them the whole time, and you'll see how easy it is to pop the lenses in there. You are Secret Agent 1252. So let me hit the start button. Little stylus is going to pop up. Trace the inside bevel of the right side of the frame before doing the same thing on the left. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed in quality. You buy a genuine, authentic Oakley frame from me, any frame, and you'll receive one free pair of clear single vision prescription lenses or non-prescription fashion lenses. My receipt has my federal ID tax number, so if you have vision insurance or unused health savings account flex dollars, you will get reimbursed for this purchase. So in just a moment, that shape will pop up on the computer. Come on, pop, pop. There we go. That is the shape that I'll be cutting. I'm going to move it on to the next screen. I want to add your pupillary distance, which is 35.5. The computer starts at 32.5. So I'm going to tap the plus button a few times. It goes up in ½ millimeter increments till we get to 35. I'm going to do an optical center height. Your invisible bifocal will begin at 20. Half the geometric center of the frame is 17.5. So I'm going to move that up to 20. Change the layout screen from single vision to the invisible bifocal. I'm going to move. This is the platform you see the lens sits on. It is movable, as you can see. I was going to need to lay out that chart there, so I'm going to move that around so I can see the grid better. I've already dotted up your lenses, and the really cool thing about this red flash mirror, before it gets activated, it literally looks like a red anti-glare coating. Mine is the Crizal Sapphire, which has a bluish hue to it. So you have the red versus the blue, and that's pretty much what it looks like while indoors. There's just a little bit of what you see reflecting is the fluorescent light above me. You see the red of that. And of course, before getting started, I have the Transition Signature 7. These are the XTRAactive, a completely clear lens. Let's put that one there. As you can see, now the Transition Signature 7 retain about 3 to 5% hue while indoors. The XTRAactive retain about 5 to 7%. So, but they They do a lot more than my lenses will do, and I'll show you in just a moment. But let's go ahead and get that right lens onto the platform. The reason why I put these 3 dots on there, one is your optical center, which is going to sit directly in front of your pupil. The other 2, there's a little laser engraving in the lens which tells me where to lay the lens out, but not just that, the brand of the lens nasally and the power of the lens. That's what I underline here. It also tells me it is the right lens because that always goes on the outside of the lens. So I'm going to line up these dots. The blue cross is the geometric center of your frame. Your eye is just above that and just inset ever so slightly. But I'm going to put that 1 dot there, the other 2 dots here. Of course, I've gotten ahead of myself. I need a block, or as I like to call him, Jenny from the block. I need to attach this to your lens while it is cutting, so I need a double-sided adhesive sticker, of which I've got a couple right here. We're going to put that onto the first sticker, put it on the platform, do the same thing now. The black side is the sticky side. Stick that onto the block. On the back is a little silver button that's going to do its job twice today. The first time it's going to attach itself to another magnet there in the arm. I'm going to pull the paper away to make the black side sticky so it would adhere to your lens. Get everything lined back up just right. That one that sits directly in front of your pupil. These other 2 dots are laid out on this grid. This is an SLR lens, so it has a 4 drop, meaning that these 2 dots sit 4 millimeters below the optical center. Hit that button. The arm's going to come down, place the block onto the right lens. We're going to do the same thing now for the unright lens. Pull the paper away to make the black side sticky. Oop, I got this one upside down. Line up the magnet. Your pupillary distance for your left eye, also 35.5, same optical center height. I don't have to change anything. The left side has mirrored the right. If I needed to change it, I would do that. But I don't have to, so I ain't gonna. Line up the dots the way they're supposed to. And hit that button. The arm's going to come down, place the block onto the left lens. Now this is the edger. This is what's going to do all the work while I run my mouth. It costs $40,000. It weighs 200 pounds. I recommend everyone go out and buy their own. Put it on your own kitchen counter, and you cut your own lenses at home. You won't need this guy with the 2 thumbs to do it for you. The actual cutting wheel is this diamond crusted wheel that's going to act like a heavy grit sandpaper to grind away the lens material until it's the final size. This wheel in the center is going to put a little V-shaped bevel onto the lens so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. So let me go ahead and get the right lens, press that on there firmly. Well, let me wake up the computer. 1252, 1252, so that's programmed in there. These are polycarbonate lenses. If they were plastic, high index plastic or Trivex, I would select that, but I'm sticking with polycarbonate. I'm not going to polish the edge of the lens because it's not going to be seen in this frame anyway. I'm not going to put a safety bevel on the front convex surface of the lens because it won't be protruding from the frame. But I will put one on the rear concave surface of the lens, even though that won't be protruding from the frame. But I'll show you in just a little bit why I'm going to do that. Press that on there firmly. Now the magnet's going to do its job a second time. It's going to attach itself to another magnet there in the chuck. Of course, by now you know I like to call it the Charles because I just don't know this machine well enough to call it Chuck. I know, free bad jokes with every pair of glasses sold. So I'm going to hit the green arrow, which is start in every language. The door closes, the clamp shuts, the lens is going to be traced by 2 white styluses, making sure that it's large enough to fit into the frame. You can see as it's going around tracing the shape of the lens. And then the old carpenter saying, measure twice, cut once. It's measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly and precisely where to place the bevel, so you have the least amount of edge thickness showing, of which you won't have any in this frame. But that is more critical because I do cut higher powered lenses for free every time you buy a frame from me, and that is a little bit more critical. Now I could move the bevel forwards or backwards for a better fit, but I won't have to do anything on this one. You see light flickering in the background? That is water there to catch the optical sawdust. Polycarbonate lenses cut dry where plastic, high index plastic, and Trivex cut wet, meaning that water sprays onto the lens for the last 20 seconds of the cutting cycle just to wash away any optical debris that you may happen to see form on the edge of the lenses. As I mentioned, your lenses are made out of polycarbonate, which is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. They are virtually unbreakable. These are high-impact ballistics grade lenses, meaning that this is the same lens material that our soldiers wear overseas in combat zones to protect their eyes from shrapnel and flying debris. Speaking of protection, it also has 100% UVA and UVB protection built into the lens. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin, where your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin, so this is permanent sunscreen for your eyes. Unlike the lotions, creams, and sprays that you have to reapply every couple hours when you're in direct exposure to the sun there in Valrico, Florida, I imagine. So, now you got the Transitions XTRAactive, which I'll demonstrate later. You also have the red flash mirror. The red flash mirror comes in 6 colors: gold, silver, green, blue, red, and pink. You can see it's on the bevel wheel now, getting the V-shaped bevel. Now, these lenses should fit flush into the frame. I custom ordered the lenses so they would be the same curvature as your frame. Oakley's are a little tricky. Some of them have more wrap than others. So water has begun spraying onto the lens, telling me it's in the last 20 seconds of the cutting cycle, just to wash away any optical debris. In just a moment, a lever will come out. At the end of that lever is a spinning wheel, a little disc, something you would find at the end of a Dremel tool. That's what's going to apply the safety bevel. Essentially, it's an extremely high grit sandpaper on a wheel, and it's just smoothing out any rough surfaces left over from the cutting cycle. And even though now on stronger prescriptions, there is a chance that the back surface of the lens could protrude from the frame, and which it won't in this frame with your prescription. But the reason why I put a safety bevel on every frame and every lens, I'll show you in just a moment, regardless of the prescription, after I open this door with my mind. I can do other things with my mind. I can melt ice with my mind. I just have to stare at it for a couple hours and then I can melt it. Now, if anyone has a funnier joke, write it down on a $100 bill and mail it to me and I'll read it on the air. You don't even have to include your name. I'll recognize your handwriting and give you credit for that joke. So, that is all smoothed out. Let's see if the lens fits first time around. If not, I can always take a little bit more off. I'm going to tuck it in at the outside corner first, using my thumbs, press down the nose, and it snaps in there easily. So let's go ahead and cut the left lens. We're going to flip that over to L, line up the magnet, hit the green arrow, line up the magnet in the Charles, the Chucky, the Chuckster, the Chucky baby, the Chucky Rama, General Chuckster. So it's going around tracing the left side of the frame now, making sure the lens is large enough to fit. And just like before, measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly precisely where to place the bevel so you have the least amount of edge thickness showing, of which, what did I promise you? No edge thickness whatsoever. The reason why I put the safety bevel on there is that as I tuck it into the outside corner and press down, I don't want any sharp edges from the back surface to rub against the edge of the frame. That's why I put a safety bevel on every lens, because I do not want to blemish your frame in any way, shape, or form while I'm working on them. Took the sticker off the block, used my hand-approved drawing method, throw that back in there. Take your sticker, add it to the collection. We're going to come down here, we're going to put it in just above that black dot at the lensometer. After I turn it on, first one of the day. In fact, I came in on a Saturday, that's right, it is Saturday morning, 11/11. Saturday, January 5th, 49 degrees in my hometown. These mirror coatings take about 2 weeks. This one took a little bit longer than planned, so I wanted to get these shipped as fast as possible to Slade. I'm going to put it on the axis wheel of 180, which will be played by 0 for this point, because 0 and 180 are the same number, and I'll explain that in a little bit later. Put it in, and I'm going to check the power, and I am getting plus 175, one tick mark away from 2. We're at 1, 1 1/4, 150, 175, 2 in the black. Your lens, you are a hyperope. That means you are far-sighted. You can see far away better than you can up close. So you need 7 steps of nearsighted correction. And once we have everything is much too small. So that's why there's a plus sign. Sorry, just repositioning the camera. That's why there is a plus sign. Your lenses magnify. Now, once it's the correct size, you have 1 step of astigmatism correction. Uncorrected astigmatism makes 6s and 8s look alike, or the letters P and F. And it's the fine-tune knob. And we're gonna turn that fine-tune knob starting at 0 to 180, with 90 being in the center. We're gonna turn that fine-tune knob to 180, which again is 0. And we're gonna check that 1 step, and we end up at 150, exactly halfway between 1 and 2. How did we get there? If you had $1.75 and someone borrowed 25 cents, you would have $1.50 left over. That's where we're at, $1.50 in the black. Now your left eye needs 9 steps of nearsighted correction, and again only 1 step of astigmatism correction. Now you have, being the invisible bifocal, you have an additional. The add is short for additional, means in addition to what's on top. So we need, if you were to buy reading glasses, you would add 175 and 150, and that would be about 3 1/4 for the right eye, 375 for the left. For computer distance, you'd back it off probably about 75. So you would need about a 250 for the right eye, a 3 for the left to see anything at arm's reach. If you're chopping anything, vegetables on the counter, cooking, frying up anything, and or on a workbench, that's the distance you would have. That's roughly your computer screen distance with an outstretched arm. You would use about half that power. Now the progressive lens, the very bottom, the full strength, the full plus 150 is at the very bottom of the lens. Why am I pointing to that one? Let's point to this one. So you have your distance correction at the top and intermediate right here just below your pupil, and the full 150 at the bottom here. That gives you every range as you move your head up and down. That's why it's called a variable multifocal lens. As you move your head, you get adjustable powers in there by adjusting your head position. Let's dry everything off here. Use my thumbnail to run that around, get all the optical sawdust off. And again, the reason why I put the safety bevel, I smooth that out. Doesn't matter here, that's not going to rub against anything, and it's contained inside the frame. Plus on transition lenses, I don't like to put the bevel on the front. It can give a little shadowing effect. So I made a very smooth surface on the back, because as I tuck it in at the outside corners first, I always press down at the nose because that's the thickest part of the frame. That's where I apply the force to. And the back surface, this edge of the lens is very smooth, so as it passes through the frame, and actually it does not want to pass easily, so I'm going to take it down another 1/10 of a millimeter, and that has come off. So let me go old school and do it this way. Oops, hang on, let me change some names around. Hang on, you're not supposed to see those. Although this cute Versace is about to go out the door. That's right, I'm talking about you, Versace. You want to see some bling? Look at that. Woo! Versace's going to bring the bling. I can't even talk right. So that's the next one I have to cut. But let me bring this down just a little bit by hand. Just like the wheel inside, it has a little bevel. I'm going to run this around, go old school. Throw up optical sawdust everywhere. Again, run my thumbnail around, make sure that is off. Tuck that in the outside corner, push down the nose. Now it snaps in there easily. Same thing, use my hand approved drying method. Throw that back in there, put the sticker on top there. We're going to come back down here to the lensometer, turn the fine tune knob to 96. Check the first power, put it in over that black dot, and I am getting plus 2 1/4, 1 tick mark past 2. Check your minus 1/4 astigmatism correction, and we end up at plus 2. I couldn't have done a better job if I'd cut these lenses myself. Now your pupillary distance for your right eye is 35.5, for the left, again 35.5, for a total of 71. I'm going to turn the card around, place the PD stick against my thumb on your right lens, and then when we hold it up to the left lens, we're getting 71 millimeters, so that is cut perfectly. Now this is the portion in every video that as I clean your lenses. And I mentioned that when you get these in the mail, and of course free shipping anywhere in the US, but when you get these in the mail, oops, let me check the optical center height of 20. Yep, to the bottom and middle of the frame is 20. The bottom middle of the frame is 20. But when you get these in the mail, there's a small chance that these could fit too loose or too tight. However, there's an 80% chance that one side is going to sit higher than the other. That's because 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other. And because of that statistic, 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them. But I'm going to get these in standard alignment first, also known as a 3-point stance. The 3 points, hang on, I'm getting there. I just want to do an additional cleaning. The 3 points are 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3. I set it on the counter and press down. There is no wobble, and normally on most of my frames I have one ear that's higher than the other, so when I press down they wobble on the counter, but they sit level on me. I'm wearing almost the same frame. It is the Oakley 8132 cross range switch, And there's something about these Pilot temples, they're almost self-correcting. Every other pair of Ray-Bans and Versace's and Polo frames I have, they will wobble on the counter, but these will not. Of course, let me put mine back on so I can see what I'm doing. Flip these over, press down, there is no wobble. Close each temple to make sure they overlap perfectly, and they do, and neither temple is askew. Now, this is the first time they have been, well, I'm going to say this will be the first time they're activated, meaning I'm exposed them to a strong burst of UV light. By the way, I also send out not just a selfie request to have your picture on the website. Slade, hook me up. I'd love to see you rocking these things. But I send out cleaning instructions not only on your frame and lenses, but on the premium microfiber cleaning cloth that I provide, the Oakley cleaning cloth, as well as how to clean your case so it too will last you for years. But this is what your lenses look like the first time they have, while they're clear indoors. I'm going to go ahead and expose them to a strong burst of ultraviolet light in my little transitions box. As you can see, it takes about 30 to 45 seconds for transition lenses to turn dark when you go outside. It takes a little bit longer when you come back inside, 45 seconds to a minute, minute 15. Now Slade, this is important, pay attention. All transition lenses will get dark on day one and continue to darken every day for the first couple weeks they're exposed to the sun. After that, they'll work for years at maximum performance. The only time the Transition Signature 7 lenses won't work is if you're behind the windshield of a car. Now you have the XTRAactive that will get 30 to 50% dark behind a car. And the Signature 7 will also get darker when it's 85 and below than they will when it's 95 and above. But I remind everyone, when it's 100 degrees outside, you're miserable, they're miserable. Nobody works 100% when it's 100 degrees outside. This is the first time they've been activated. Of course, the Transition's XTRAactive brown with the red flash mirror. It is really cool coating. Again, it works almost like anti-glare coating. You see a little bit indoors with the red when you go outside, and when these have been activated, you really see the red at certain angles. It's not like a truly mirrored lenses where no one will see your eyes. It just depends on the angle of the reflection, but it's really, really cool. I've gotten wonderful feedback from everyone who's gotten it so far. They're very pleased with it. I've never had anyone who is not unpleased with it yet. Of course, this is the first time they've been activated. Don't worry, they're going to keep getting darker and darker for the first couple of weeks. Come on, Slade, we talked about that, don't you remember? But that's it. I hope you enjoyed watching. If you did, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram as freeprescriptionlenses.com. If you have any questions, you can email me on the Contact Me page on the website, or you can email me directly at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com. Or better yet, leave a question or comment. Slade, I'd love for you to leave a comment on these before you get them, after you get them, whatever you think. Please share this video with your friends and family to help me blow up and help me compete with the corporate giants who are allowed to individually list every Oakley frame with prices on their website. This is the only way that enables me to compete with those corporate giants out there. But that's it. Slade in Valrico, Florida. I hope you enjoyed watching as I cut the invisible Essilor Ideal Advanced Invisible bifocals with Transition's XTRAactive brown with the red flash mirror for your Oakley 8121 color 02 polished black in the 55 eye size. And everyone else has got the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.